If you care about productivity and still want meaningful cultural experiences, then what you watch matters. You don't want to consume something empty. You want to create a valuable experience. The right films expand your perspective. They let you live through powerful situations, reshape how you think, and sharpen your ability to recognize the mechanisms shaping your own life. But that only happens if you choose deliberately. That's why I've curated 5 films that challenge your relationship to discipline, obsession, sacrifice, and greatness. If you're serious about your pathway to mastery, these aren't just entertainment, they are literally fuel. For each film, I'll briefly explain what it's generally about and highlight what's especially relevant for your own pursuit of mastery. And at the end, I'll give you a precise framework for extracting the most value from any movie you'll ever watch for the rest of your life. So let's begin with movie number 1, Whiplash. Whiplash follows Andrew Neiman, a young jazz drummer at a prestigious conservatory obsessed with becoming one of the greats. He catches the attention of Terence Fletcher, a ruthless instructor who believes greatness is forged through pressure, humiliation, and relentless standards. What unfolds is a psychological duel: ambition versus identity, discipline versus self-destruction. The film forces you to confront a brutal question. What are you willing to sacrifice? And maybe even more importantly, should you? Now, one personal recommendation. The film won 3 Oscars, including Best Sound Mixing. That's why I recommend to use the best speakers you have, or even better, noise-canceling headphones. Movie number 2, Gattaca. Imagine a world where your DNA determines your entire future. Gattaca tells the story of Vincent Freeman, a man born genetically inferior. In his society, worth is predicted at birth. Your limits are calculated and your ceiling is decided before you ever try. But Vincent refuses to accept that and risks everything to pursue his dream of becoming an astronaut, despite being told his entire life that he is not built for greatness. This sci-fi movie is a meditation on fate versus free will, on talent versus determination, and on biology versus belief. Are you defined by your potential or by your decisions in life? Sooner or later, you might face a moment where your friends, your family, or the world tells you what you can and what you cannot do. And the question becomes whether you agree or not. For anyone serious about mastery, this is a beautiful movie, both in meaning and also aesthetically, which is why I wholeheartedly recommend it to you. Movie number 3, Frida. The movie tells the story of Frida Kahlo, the real-life Mexican painter whose art and identity would go on to influence generations. After a brutal accident, her life becomes shattered, leaving her body in constant pain. In a world that could have reduced her to a victim, she refuses to take that identity. Instead of collapsing under suffering, she turns inwards. She picks up a brush and begins to paint her reality exactly as it is. Not polished, pretty, or designed for approval, but authentically. The movie invites you to reflect on your relationship to your own pain and vulnerability and what to do with it. And it challenges you on self-expression versus conformity. Frida Kahlo is one of the favorite artists of my mother, my wife, and myself. And this movie represents a portal to dive into her world of artistry, feminine darkness, and authenticity. Movie number 4, Ready Player One. Ready Player One tells the story of Wade Watts, a teenager escaping a broken, overcrowded reality by living inside a vast virtual universe called the Oasis. In this world, you can be anything, look like anything, and win everything. But hidden inside the game is a challenge, a race designed to crown a single winner and hand them the control over the entire system. Millions compete, everyone rushes forward, faster, harder, more aggressive, and everyone loses. Until Wade does something unexpected. He stops trying to compete and starts questioning the structure of the race itself. This movie might challenge you, not to work more ferociously, but to question your entire approach to the game called life. Movie number 5, The Prestige. The Prestige is a powerful movie by Christopher Nolan. It follows two rival magicians, Robert Angier and Alfred Borden, whose shared passion for greatness slowly turns into an obsession. What begins with a professional competition evolves into psychological war. Each man becomes consumed by the need to outperform the other to create the ultimate illusion, to earn the final applause. But every new trick demands a greater sacrifice. Time, relationships, ethics. This movie zooms in on the fine line between devotion and obsession. Let me know in the comments which ones of these movies you were already familiar with and which ones you would like to add to the list. And also, should I do a part 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, let's start with this one for now. If you've stuck around, here's the bonus 4-step framework I talked about in the beginning. And it's the reason movies are such powerful mastery tools when you use them correctly. Some of the movies and the perspectives on how to utilize them consciously shared in this video come from our study space called Conductivity, an educational project I'm operating together with my wife and co-founder Sundari and our team. It's rooted in over 30 years of experience and more than 1,000 case studies supporting people to build a life of joy, fulfillment, and alignment with their purpose in life. We do that through our unique methodology called Conductivity, which is about your ability to consciously generate, direct, and manage life energy. And one very small part of our work is that we analyze high-quality films to extract the underlying life mechanics inside them. Our students regularly get immense value from this, but only if they don't consume passively. So here is the 4-step process. Step number 1, use films as quality rest. Watch them to balance intense work cycles or as an intentional reward. The point is to make movies a rest that really nourishes you. Then, step number 2, don't just watch, but study and analyze. My approach is simple. I typically watch movies for the first time, casually, fully immersed, often together with my wife. I'm present with the story, but I'm also noticing patterns in the background. Sometimes we stop the movie and already start analyzing while watching. But then I also watch a second time, and this one's more analytical, fast, and surgical. I watch the movies on my computer at 2 to 3x speed. It helps me to kind of zoom out and experience the movie differently, kind of from a bird's eye view. For this, I use a Chrome extension called Video Speed Controller, so I can control the speed of any movie on the internet. And then throughout, I often pause to think critically and also to take screenshots. From there, I capture everything as a structured analysis inside of my centralized Notion system. And this analysis looks like following. I write down a synopsis of what the movie is generally about. Then I analyze the main characters, like for example, what motivates them, like what are their main decisions, what are their character arcs, but also what mechanics are they applying in their life to achieve or not achieve certain desired or undesired outcomes. Then I also look closely at the symbolisms in the movie. And I look at the algorithms and life mechanics, the deeper patterns you can apply, which we are for our students analyzing and teaching over at Conductivity. And lastly, I write down memorable quotes. Afterward, I discuss the analysis with our students or team members and then later with our entire community. This process of sharing and discussing is super interesting because it often offers different perspectives and allows to polish. As a third and maybe even general step of the framework, it's very important that you get to extract what is relevant to you. It is your responsibility to distinguish the valuable aspects of the film, and you can do so by asking yourself, what particularly resonates and why? Where do you disagree and what does that reveal about you? What particular action steps can you implement in your life? The fourth and final step of the framework, and this is more of an optional bonus step, is to turn the soundtrack of the movie into anchors for yourself. Now, this is underrated, but you can add the score of the film to your playlists or use one track as a morning alarm so your nervous system associates that sound with a specific feeling or mood that you derived from the movie. That's the difference between watching movies passively and using movies as a conscious tool for mastery. If you're interested to be part of a passionate community of like-minded individuals and you want to explore our retreats and education over at Conductivity, you can simply sign up to the newsletter below. Now, if you want to get a behind-the-scenes look into the Notion system I use to centralize all of my study material on my pathway to mastery, watch this next video and always remember, the biggest lie is to not live your truth.